Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa was sworn in as the President of South Africa for the first time on February 15, 2018 and again on May 22, 2019 after the 2019 elections. The President was born on November 17, 1952 in Johannesburg. His family was moved from Western Native Township to Soweto in 1962, where he attended Mphaphuli Primary School. He completed high school at Mphaphuli High School in Sibasa, Venda in 1971. He began his studies at the University of the North in 1972, where he became involved in student politics, joining the South African Student Organization, SASO, and the Black People's Convention, BPC. He holds a law degree from the University of South Africa. He has received several honorary doctorates from local and international universities. He received the Olof Palme Prize in Stockholm in 1987 and was awarded the National Order of the Baobab in Silver in 2009 for his contribution to the multi-party negotiations and for chairing the Constitutional Assembly. Before becoming President of the Republic, he served as the Deputy President since 2012. Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa was born on November 17, 1952 in Johannesburg. His family was moved from Western Native Township to Soweto in 1962, where he attended Mphaphuli Primary School. He completed high school at Mphaphuli High School in Sibasa, Venda in 1971. He registered to study law at the University of the North in 1972, where he became involved in student politics, joining the South African Student Organization, SASO, and the Black People's Convention, BPC. He was detained in solitary confinement for 11 months in 1974 under Section 6 of the Terrorism Act for organizing pro-Frelimo rallies. He was detained for the second time and held for 6 months in 1976 following the Soweto student uprising. While a law clerk for a Johannesburg firm of attorneys, he continued his studies through the University of South Africa, UNISA, obtaining his BPROC degree in 1981. He then joined the Council of Unions of South Africa, CUSA, as a legal advisor. In 1982, at the request of the Council of Unions of South Africa, CUSA, he founded the National Union of Mine Workers, NUMBER, with James Motlatsi and Elijah Berei, and became the union's first general secretary. He was instrumental in building NUMBER into the most powerful union at the time, with membership rising from 6,000 to 300,000 during his tenure. He led mine workers in one of the biggest strikes in South Africa's history in 1987. As NUMBER General Secretary, he was instrumental in the establishment of the Congress of South African Trade Unions, COSATU, and played a prominent role in the Mass Democratic Movement, MDM, when COSATU joined forces with the United Democratic Front, UDF, against the apartheid government. He went into hiding in July 1986 after the declaration of a state of emergency. He was later appointed chairperson of the reception committee to receive Rivonia Trialists and in January 1990 accompanied released ANC political prisoners to Lusaka, Zambia. He served as chairperson of the National Reception Committee, which coordinated arrangements for the release of Nelson Mandela and subsequent welcome rallies within South Africa. Following the unbanning of the ANC, in 1991 he was elected ANC Secretary General at its first national conference in over 30 years. He became head of the ANC's negotiation team at the Convention for a Democratic South Africa, CODESA, and the subsequent multi-party talks. Following South Africa's first democratic elections on April 27, 1994, he became a member of parliament and was elected as chairperson of the Constitutional Assembly. In that position, he was responsible for overseeing the drafting of South Africa's internationally acclaimed first democratic constitution. In 2009, this contribution was recognized with the award of the National Order of the Baobab in Silver. On completion of the constitution drafting process, he left Parliament and his position as ANC Secretary General to move into business, joining New Africa Investments Limited. In 2001, He established Shanduka Group as a black-owned investment holding company, building up a diverse portfolio of listed and unlisted assets. In 2004, he established the Shanduka Foundation, focusing on education and small business development. The foundation, which has since changed its name to Cyril Ramaphosa Foundation, comprises Adopt a School Foundation, Black Umbrellas, and the Cyril Ramaphosa Education Trust. He is co-chairperson of the advisory board of the Kagiso Shanduka Trust, which is in partnership with the Free State Department of Education on a program to develop schools in the province. He gained a wide range of business experience serving on the boards of some of Shanduka's investee companies and other companies. He was a member of the United Nations Global Leadership Group that advised the Secretary General's Special Representative on Business and Human Rights. He has received several awards. He was awarded the Olof Palme Prize in October 1987 in Stockholm. In October 1991 he was a visiting professor of law at Stanford University in the United States. He has received honorary doctorates from the University of Natal, the University of Port Elizabeth, the University of Cape Town, the University of the North, the University of Lesotho, the University of Venda and the University of Massachusetts, USA. He is currently the Chancellor of the University of Mpumalanga. He was the first Deputy Chairman of the Commonwealth Business Council. He was Vice Chairman of the Global Business Coalition on HIV/AIDS. Mr. Ramaphosa was appointed, along with former Finnish President Martti Ahtisaari, as a weapons inspector in Northern Ireland. He also sat on the International Commission of Intervention and State Sovereignty and the UN Secretary-General's panel on international support to NEPAD. He was appointed Deputy Chairperson of the National Planning Commission in 2010, a body created to draft a long-term national development plan for South Africa. In December 2012, he was elected ANC Deputy President at the ANC's 53rd National Conference in Mangaung. He was appointed Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa on May 25, 2014. In December 2017, he was elected 13th ANC President at the 54th National Conference in Johannesburg. President Cyril Ramaphosa was sworn in as President of the Republic of South Africa on Thursday, February 15, 2018 following the resignation of President Jacob Zuma. Soon after earning his degree, Ramaphosa was hired as a legal advisor for the Council of Unions of South Africa, CUSA. He was asked by CUSA to help establish the National Union of Mine Workers, NUMBER, and, upon its creation in 1982, he became General Secretary, a position he held until 1991. Ramaphosa honed his organizational and leadership skills in this position as he focused on improving the working conditions and wages of black miners. While working at the NUMBER, he helped form the Congress of South African Trade Unions, COSATU, a federation of trade unions, in 1985. He also oversaw the 1987 NUMBER strike which, at the time, was the largest and longest-running strike in the history of South Africa's mining industry. Although NUMBER did not receive the wage increase and other concessions they were striking for, the strike itself was viewed as a success for demonstrating the organizational might of the union and for laying the path for future negotiations and gains. The event also enhanced Ramaphosa's reputation as a negotiator. As legislated apartheid began to unravel in the early 1990s, the ANC, a black nationalist organization that had been banned in 1960 by the white minority government, was unbanned in 1990. The following year Ramaphosa was elected to serve as the ANC Secretary General as well as to sit on the ANC's influential National Executive Committee, NEC. With his years of negotiating experience from union work, he was tapped to be the ANC's chief negotiator in multi-party discussions for the country's transition from apartheid to multiracial democracy. The country's first non-racial democratic elections were held in 1994 and saw black nationalist Nelson Mandela become the country's first black president. Though Ramaphosa was well positioned to be chosen as Mandela's deputy president, that post ultimately went to Thabo Mbeki, with Ramaphosa becoming a member of the National Assembly. From 1994 to 1996 he served as chairman of the Constitutional Assembly, which drafted the country's new constitution. For his work on the widely acclaimed constitution, Ramaphosa was honored with the prestigious South African award, the Order of the Baobab in silver, in 2009. After his work was completed on that task in 1996, he resigned from the National Assembly and from his post as Secretary General of the ANC. However, he continued to be a member of the party and kept his spot on the NEC. After leaving politics, Ramaphosa focused on his business aspirations. He started out at New African Investments Ltd. NAIL, where he was Deputy Executive Chairman. In 2001 he founded the Shanduka Group, an investment firm which grew to have holdings in multiple business sectors, such as mining, property, finance, and fast food franchises. He also served on the boards of many South African businesses. In time, his endeavors made him one of the country's wealthiest businessmen. In 2004 he established the Shanduka Foundation, which provided education and business opportunities in order to foster social and economic development in the country. It was renamed the Cyril Ramaphosa Foundation in 2015. In December 2012 Ramaphosa was elected Deputy President of the ANC at the party's leadership conference to serve under Jacob Zuma, who was President of the ANC as well as of South Africa. After Zuma was re-elected President in May 2014, he appointed Ramaphosa as Deputy President of the country. To avoid conflicts of interest, Ramaphosa stepped down from many corporate positions he held and divested from his business interests. The ANC's next leadership conference was held in December 2017. Zuma, who was beleaguered by scandal, did not stand for another term as party president. Ramaphosa, campaigning on a platform of fighting corruption and promoting economic growth, was narrowly elected president of the ANC. His ascent to party president put him in position to be chosen as the next president of the country. Strengthened by his victory, Ramaphosa and his supporters in the ANC began to actively maneuver for the scandal-ridden Zuma to step down as president of South Africa, a delicate task, given that Zuma still had much support within the party. Their efforts culminated on February 13, 2018, when the ANC announced that it was recalling Zuma from the presidency. Though Zuma was initially defiant, he did resign the next day. As deputy president, Ramaphosa automatically became the country's acting president upon Zuma's resignation. On February 15 he was formally elected to the post by the National Assembly and was sworn in. Thank you for watching this video.